Paris thought it was just another ordinary evening at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Flights arriving, taxi lights glowing outside the terminal, travelers dragging luggage across polished floors without a second thought. Nothing unusual, nothing unforgettable. Then the noise started. At first, it sounded distant. A few chants echoing somewhere beyond the terminal doors. But within minutes, the sound exploded into something massive. Thousands of voices, drums pounding in rhythm, blue, red, and yellow flags flooding the airport like a wave crashing through glass and steel. The windows of Terminal 2 literally trembled from the energy. Airport staff stopped in place. French reporters grabbed cameras in confusion, unsure what kind of celebrity could possibly be causing this level of chaos. Travelers who had no connection to the moment slowed down, stared, and refused to leave because moments like this simply do not happen in tennis. And then she appeared. Not a football superstar, not a global pop icon, not a president. It was a 23-year-old Filipino tennis player stepping into Paris like she already owned the city. Her name is Alexandra Eala, and France was completely unprepared for what followed, because tennis players are never welcome like this. Even Grand Slam champions usually walk through airports quietly with a coach beside them and maybe a few waiting supporters holding phones. That is how the sport works. Calm, controlled, reserved. Alexandra Eala shattered that tradition the second she landed. For weeks, Filipino communities across Europe had been planning this moment in silence. Supporters traveled from Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Nice, even neighboring countries. They organized train rides, designed matching jerseys, imported thousands of Philippine flags, and practiced chants the way football ultras prepare for a title-deciding match. French officials reportedly expected a few hundred fans. Instead, they were hit by a human wave. Security inside the airport had to be reinforced before Eala's plane even touched the runway. And the moment she stepped into public view, the terminal erupted into pure emotion. Camera flashes exploded nonstop. Fans screamed her name until their voices cracked. Elderly supporters held handmade Laban Alex banners with tears in their eyes after traveling hours just for a glimpse of her. Children sat on their parents' shoulders staring at her like they were witnessing history in real time. Veteran French journalists later admitted they had never seen anything remotely comparable for a tennis player. One broadcaster described it as a peaceful invasion of joy. And honestly, nothing described it better. To understand why this moment became so massive, you have to understand what Alexandra Eala represents beyond tennis itself. Born in Quezon City, she left home at a young age to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, where her game was rebuilt around discipline, aggression, intelligence, and relentless mental strength. Left-handed and fearless under pressure, Eala developed into the kind of player who disrupts opponents mentally before the match even settles into rhythm. She dominated junior tennis. She collected titles. She earned respect. But somewhere along the way, she became something even bigger than a rising athlete. She became a symbol. For millions of Filipinos living abroad, far from home and family, sports carry emotional meaning far deeper than wins and losses. Athletes become reminders of identity, pride, connection, proof that no matter how far away people travel, a piece of home still survives inside them. That is what exploded inside Charles de Gaulle Airport that night. The chants were not casual support. The tears were not exaggeration. The 4-hour train rides were not about tennis alone. Alexandra Eala was carrying an entire community with her. And what stunned France most was the scale of it. French tennis culture is passionate, but traditionally elegant and restrained. Roland Garros crowds appreciate tactics, artistry, and clean shot making. The atmosphere is intense but controlled. What arrived with Alexandra Eala felt completely different. It felt like football energy unleashed inside tennis. The kind of non-stop emotional force normally reserved for Champions League nights in packed stadiums suddenly attached itself to one young Filipino player standing on clay courts thousands of miles away from home. Tournament organizers were caught off guard. How do you handle a player who suddenly has a louder crowd than local stars? How do you control an audience that behaves like a national movement rather than ordinary fans? The truth is, you do not control it. You stand back and watch history happen, but beyond the spectacle, beyond the drums echoing through the terminal and the flags turning Charles de Gaulle into a sea of blue, red, and yellow, there's something far more serious the rest of the tournament cannot afford to ignore. Alexandra Eala is not arriving in Paris as a feel-good story. She is arriving as a genuine threat. Her game forces opponents into discomfort almost immediately. The left-handed serve drags players into awkward angles they rarely face. Her baseline style is both patient and explosive at the same time, a dangerous combination on clay. She can extend rallies endlessly, absorbing pressure without panic, and then suddenly strike with brutal aggression the moment an opening appears. That balance is what has analysts paying attention. Several observers have already warned that Eala is far more dangerous than her current ranking suggests, especially on clay courts where her movement, spin, and tactical discipline become even more effective. Some have even predicted she could become one of the major surprises of the tournament. And then there is a psychological factor, something impossible to measure until you experience it firsthand. Imagine being a French player competing on home soil at Roland Garros, walking onto the court expecting familiar support, only to realize the emotional energy inside the stadium belongs overwhelmingly to your opponent. Not hostility, not boos, something potentially more unsettling. A non-stop wall of synchronized chants, flags waving from every corner, thousands of voices moving together with one purpose and one name, Alexandra Eala. That is no longer a neutral environment. That becomes a home match for the visiting player. Opponents will not simply be facing Eala herself. They will be facing the force surrounding her, the momentum, the emotion, the sense that every point she wins carries the hopes of an entire global community watching from the stands and across screens around the world. And maybe the most striking detail of all is how calm she looked in the middle of it. When clips of her airport arrival exploded across social media, most people focus on the crowd, and understandably so. But the more revealing part of the footage was actually Eala herself. After a long international flight, with cameras flashing nonstop and thousands screaming her name before she had even fully entered the terminal, she never appeared overwhelmed. She moved through the chaos with composure, smiling naturally, acknowledging supporters with warmth instead of nervousness. It did not feel like someone surviving the moment. It felt like someone fully embracing it. That was the detail French reporters kept mentioning afterward. They described her presence as regal, composed, almost untouchable in the middle of complete chaos. One journalist even referred to her as the eye of a storm. And for the rest of the draw, that may be the most dangerous sign of all, because pressure does not seem to break Alexandra Eala. It seems to energize her. What happened at Charles de Gaulle Airport was not just an unforgettable reception. It was a statement powerful enough to shake glass walls and completely alter the atmosphere surrounding this tournament. A young woman from Manila has arrived at the center of European tennis, carrying the support of an entire diaspora behind her. What once felt like a rising story quietly building in Southeast Asia has now exploded onto one of the sport's biggest stages. Paris noticed. French media is still searching for the right words to describe what unfolded that night. Players across the draw are suddenly recalculating expectations. And the 50,000 Pinoys ready movement that spread online before her arrival, it turns out they were not exaggerating at all.